earlier you mentioned you were invested in crypto. Why didn't you continue with that?
Because I know myself and I know what I'm good at. Like, whilst I was investing in crypto, it was too much of having to rely on other people.
Okay.
Like, I didn't know the factors that would influence a coin doing a mad thing or just flopping. And I didn't like having to rely on other people to know whether I'm going to make money or not.
Okay.
And I couldn't be bothered to learn all of the intrinsic factors or like why coins go up instead of going down and things like that. In terms of any other form of hustles or whatever, I've always been a firm believer of the mantra of like focusing on one thing at a time, rather than putting your eggs in too many baskets. So that being said, after crypto, obviously I was dealing with watches for a bit, cool, and then now I've fallen into property. And properties, it was kind of like, it's always the end goal, because if you think about it, everybody in their lifetime wants to be on the property ladder. Like if you speak to anyone, they at some point in their life, they want to buy a property. So I thought, why not do that now and also make a living off of it as well? Because it genuinely interests me. Like, if you saw the state of this house when I first bought it, that it was insane. And then now uplifting the value and turning it into a modern home for people to live in. Like, that's the feeling is next to none. And you're also like, you're making money whilst doing it. It just makes the most sense.
When you bought the house, was there any things that delayed the process of actually getting it in your hands?
Solicitors. Solicitors can be their make or break. Solicitors, what else can affect it? Luckily, because I bought at auction, they give you a small time window to complete in. But if it weren't for that, it could drag out for even close to a year. Like, I've heard some horror stories still of house sales just dragging out for ages. But I say solicitors to say that when me and mine were ready to, I think we're waiting on the contract of sale or something along those lines. And the vendor solicitors, I kid you not, they were just not replying. They were not replying for ages. So I was calling my solicitors saying like what's going on, this and that. Because bearing in mind, with auction, if you go over the allocated time, you get charged fees, like late fees.
Yeah.
So I was calling them. I was thinking like, what's going on? Like, why are we delaying?
Yeah.
And then they were basically saying that, like the vendor solicitors just haven't been contacting us. So I think close to a week went by, still nothing. We've been ready to complete for time.
Yeah.
Lenders, solicitors are ready to give it the green light, everything. So then I had to get in touch with the auctioneers, SDL, and basically just get them to give the vendor solicitors a nudge, saying like, we're ready to complete. Like, what's happening? So then that happened, and then we ended up completing. I think it took us just over a month, which in property terms isn't that long at all.
Yeah.
But so solicitors is the main thing. Lenders can take long depending on your method of buying. So if you're buying through a mortgage, like a typical residential buy-to-let mortgage, it can drag out a little bit longer because of searches and just a lot of stuff.